you two do not live together, it's much easier, okay? And this is why I mean this. If you two don't live together, you have your stuff, she has her stuff at your place. Easiest thing to do is box it up, put it outside, or box it up, exchange it. Hey, hell, even give it to a mutual friend, have them exchange it with you guys, and that's it, okay? If that's not the case, if they ask you to come over to their apartment, or they want to come over to your apartment, please do keep in mind, as a man, if a woman does anything, if they try to accuse you of anything, you are absolutely fucked. There's no way about it. I mean, they can call the police on you, they can try to attack you, they can send you to prison, they can send you to jail, they can do many things to you. Please do keep that in mind, okay? So before allowing them permission to enter your place of residence or before you go to hers, there are many things that I would strongly recommend. Number one, take a friend. And what I mean by take a friend, don't take, I would say take a female friend. That's what I would do. Take a female friend with you, and that way that if something does happen, you have eyewitness right there. Number two, you could ask the police if they could help you and say, hey, I broke up, I'm trying to come over here, I'm not trying to cause any problems, just want to get my things and leave. And if they agree to it, then we'll figure that out. That's another thing that you have the ability to do. I have done that personally in the past. I brought one of my friends over, and he helped me get my stuff, and I left. And even after that, so I basically went back over there a second time because not everything was in my box, which is probably more or less what will happen to you, and then they'll try to bait you in to get you to go back over there. And that's what you don't want. You don't want to go back over there. You want to get your stuff, you want to leave. If it didn't come with you, please let it go. There's no reason for you to go back over there because the risk is not worth it. It's not worth it. As a guy, you can go to jail, you can go to prison, you can get labeled, you can get smeared, you can get sued. There's so many things that can happen to you that's just not worth it. It's not worth it. I'm telling you, it's not worth it, okay? And that leads me to the second point. If there are children involved, what I would strongly suggest, if you guys are living together, or even if you're not, okay, if you go over and get the box or so on and so forth, make sure the children are not present. You don't want children to be involved. They have nothing to do with it. They have absolutely nothing to do with any of that. If you have kids or she has kids, they have nothing to do with you guys separating. Even if you are married to a certain degree, I would strongly suggest that you take the kid to, if it's available to you, to a godparent, one of your best friends. You take it to grandparent or your parents if you can, somewhere safe that you know they're going to be safe, and y'all deal with it during that time period. That way the kid is not exposed to what can or potentially could happen, because you could scar them for life. That's my strong suggestion. That's not legal advice, it's what I would do, because a lot of times children watch these things and it affects them the rest of their life, and you don't want to include them in that, especially when it's between two adults. It has nothing to do with it. The next thing that I would say is do not try to involve other people if you can help it. I mean, with the exception of, hey, I'm going to go over here, can you please come with me because I don't want to be accused of anything. That's the only way that I would say it. I'm not saying like, oh, just go over there and let's go do this and that. No, you don't want to do any of that. You want to go get your stuff and you want to leave. For example, if she comes over to your place, please keep this in mind. If you need visual proof, it happened to Johnny Depp, please go look at the video. She goes into his house, she beats herself up, calls the police on him, he gets arrested. So, and he still is smeared to this day and still is canceled by Hollywood because of something that she made up. It's on camera. Go look it up. So please do keep that in mind. I would strongly suggest having an eyewitness there, having cameras in your place if you can afford it, or call the police and ask them, hey, this is what's going on. Can you guys please be here as a mediator? That way nothing gets out of hand and nothing gets happen one way or the other. That's what you really, really want. That's my strong suggestion. Once again, I'm not an attorney, so if y'all are married, then it would be a lot more difficult. You have to separate everything, so I would strongly suggest looking for a lawyer. If you know a friend that's divorced, ask them. If you know this is coming in the future, go to every divorce lawyer that you possibly can. That way they can't use them. That's what I would do. Take every single consultation that you can take and go for it. And then whichever one you like, take them. And then when they go looking for one, it's hard for them to find one. So that's something that you can do. Another thing that I would strongly recommend is if y'all are just shacking up, please keep in mind that in certain states there's common law marriages. So if you allow them to live in your residence for a certain amount of time, y'all are considered common law married. So please do keep that in mind. So they could try to get a lawyer and attack you that way and try to get things out of you by using the common law against you. So that's why I always say situationships are not always the best thing. You think, oh, we're just boyfriend and girlfriend, but the law sees it differently, especially under common law marriage. So please do keep that in mind. Once again, this is not legal advice. This is just what I've seen with my own personal experience. So I would strongly suggest that if y'all are living together, please make sure that they are not on the contract of the apartment anymore. Just make sure that that is broken, so no more contract, and try to get them off the lease if you can. Another thing that you can do is, I would strongly suggest, is if they're not on the lease, then you could tell them, hey, your stuff's outside. You call the police that they're trespassing because they're not on the contract. Therefore, technically, they don't belong in the apartment as far as I understand it. So this is my advice that I would give. And as a bonus, the last bonus I would give is, with the exception of if you have children with the person, do not try to speak out to them again, okay? Don't try to reach out to them. They will try to reach out to you. They will do everything in their power. What I used to do is, I got a relationship for 8 years, okay? After we broke up, the woman just couldn't let go. Like, for like 6 months, she would send me stuff, messages, photos, everything. And you know what pisses women off the most? Don't even block them. Just like the messages. Don't respond to it. Like, let them know that you saw it and you chose not to respond. That's a lot more painful than just blocking them. And with that being said, what are your stories? What have you guys experienced? If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, please leave them down below. I'd love to hear your stories. And y'all have a wonderful day. Oh yeah, and please subscribe down below and follow me on my Instagram for daily content. Y'all have a nice day.